Loretta Sanchez.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you so much for working so hard for all communities in California for so many years. I am proud to carry your endorsement in this race, and I believe that and the goodwill and the grassroots efforts of all of our communities will carry us across the line come the 8th of November. You know, Pope Francis came to Washington, D.C., and his message was pretty clear. In talking about the immigrant community and about immigration, and I want to use his words, he said, we need to treat it in a way which is always humane, just, and fraternal. In his own way, Pope Francis was saying to us, in a very diplomatic way, that our immigration system in the United States is broken, that it is unjust, it is unwise, it is self-defeating, and is in bad need of a reform. And indeed, I believe that immigration reform is the moral imperative of our time. It is numero uno on the list. You know, my parents, Ignacio and Maria, their fathers died when they were young. They were in Mexico. And so they came to the United States to find a life as so many immigrant communities have always done. They educated their children here. All of us have masters or PhDs or law degrees, and they are the only parents in the history of the United States to send 2 daughters to the United States Congress. Immigrants are our lifeblood in this country. And so the Congress must do immigration reform. In my first 60 days in the United States Senate, I will put forward a comprehensive immigration reform. It is about immigrant communities, but it is about us. It is about us as Americans. It is how we thrive. It is about family values. Traditional family values says we try as much as we can to keep our families together. So these deportations and this different status within families is just wrong. It is a moral reality. Secondly, it is about national security. We need to ensure that those people who are here and are really part of our community already are our Little League coaches. There are deacons in our churches. There are PTA mothers already, that we give them status in this country so that they are really a part of our community, and we can train our limited resources on the issues of homeland security. And we all know, we have only to look at the demographics of our great United States to know that unfortunately, Senator, we're all aging. Oh, we're all aging. And so there will be a real need, and we need a real system in which American workers have access to good jobs, and then when we need more, we have a system that actually works of visas for people to come and help us to ensure that our economy is strong. And so my comprehensive immigration reform will begin with a path to full and equal citizenship. The senator mentioned DACA and DAPA programs that we see for Dreamers. I voted for the Dreamer Act in the Congress, for example. We noted that there are real issues that are really deterring people from who otherwise would be in line in the correct way for residency, these 3 and 10-year bans, for example. If we do comprehensive immigration reform, we really don't need the DACA or 3 or 10-year bans. If we do it correctly, we will include these people under an immigration reform. Secondly, we have to conduct humane and targeted immigration enforcement. Let us face it, if someone has spent 20 years in our prisons here because they committed murder or some other egregious felony, then we don't want them back in our communities. They prey on the immigrant communities in particular. So we have to have a smart way of defining what that looks like. Third, this issue of what is going on in particular in Central America and the issue of unaccompanied minors, we have to wrap that into an immigration reform. We have to give children, we must give children a fair audience and due process. It's what any of us would want for our children. And fourth, I want to ensure that we put in the resources so that people do become naturalized. Right now, given what country you are in, if you are in line, people always say, why don't these people just stand in line and get residency the way everybody else has? Well, first we need to change the laws to allow them to stand in line. And then for those of you who don't see the immigration process, for many of these people who are standing in line, it is taking 10 years before they will get their residency. So we need to allocate the resources to make that line go faster because they are part of our community. So we need a just and humane way to give status to people who are already here and are part of our American family. We need resources to ensure that those who are in line are actually getting across the line to become residents. We need to focus on those young children who are coming from civil strife to ensure they get due process when they enter the United States. So in my first 60 days, I will put forward a comprehensive immigration reform package that is about homeland security, because the United States should decide as a sovereign nation who is in our country and who does not come. For those who are here, status, so they can come out from the shadows and have no fear of the breaking apart of the families. And the third, to ensure that for the future we have programs in place and we have visas that work. So I thank all of you for being here today, and I want to introduce, well, I'll give it back to Senator Polanco, and he'll introduce some of the people who are here with us today. Oh, en español ahora. Ahora lo voy a decir en español para esos que tienen. I'll say it in Spanish and then you can finish up and then we can ask our. Okay. Hoy estoy aquí para decirles que el imperativo moral de nuestro tiempo es una reforma migratoria para nuestra gente, para todas las comunidades, para las gentes que ya están aquí, nuestras familias. Nosotros sabemos que tenemos familias mezcladas, algunos tienen papeles para estar aquí, algunos no tienen. Muchas veces La madre es la que no tiene documentos para estar aquí. Nuestros hijos o son de otro país, pero están aquí desde chicos, o muchos de ellos ya son ciudadanos de los Estados Unidos. Así es que necesitamos darles estatus a todas nuestras familias que quieren estar aquí, que han estado aquí, que están trabajando en nuestra comunidad, que nos ayudan cada día sirviéndonos en los restaurantes, ayudándonos en las fábricas. Estas gentes que son parte de nuestra comunidad están en nuestras iglesias, son manejadores del equipo de béisbol para nuestros niños, están en las escuelas ayudando a los estudiantes. El Papa Francisco nos dijo cuando vino a los Estados Unidos, en Washington, D.C., especialmente al Congreso, a las personas que pueden cambiar la ley, que es justo cambiar la ley para ayudar a nuestras familias. Son nuestros valores americanos de tener y ayudar a nuestras familias que se unen, no de romper a la madre de nuestra familia, por ejemplo. Nosotros también necesitamos ayuda en la economía, necesitamos estos obreros, estas gentes que vienen aquí para el sueño americano.